Hey everyone, Clint Butler here from SIA. Thank you very much for joining me on behalf of Dory Friend and the entire SIA team. Welcome to the channel. Test number 27, Web 2.0 duplicate content. You know we couldn't just go without testing duplicate content. After all, it's bad. You shouldn't have duplicate content, and everyone says so. So let's test it out and see if that's true. Let's get into it. Okay, so I want to do a couple of things. First, we have to identify duplicate content. Now, what is it? So the idea behind duplicate content is having one web page, and then that web page is posted, or that article is posted on another website, and that article is posted on another website, etc. Now, if it was a press release, that would be syndication, and no one would say anything about duplicate content. Duplicate content hurts you. You shouldn't use the same content everywhere. But press releases apparently are exempt from that because you're actually not duplicating the content. You're syndicating it. Doesn't make any sense to me because it's the exact same content, and it's over just on press release sites versus a website. But as you can see, the natural form of the way the Google works, even in Google News, they sort that out. And typically, the more authoritative or trusted domains, that content will rank higher than, say, your standard off-the-mill news channel that's got syndicated through an API. All right, and then you have the duplicate content that is on your web page or your website. And typically, you're going to see that mainly in a local business build. Especially if you're targeting multiple cities. And frankly, Google is kind of onto that. They know that that's expected. So if you're offering plumbing in Dallas and you have a set of services that you offer and you're talking about that on your Dallas plumber page, and you also offer all of those same services in Houston, the algorithm has been trained to be smart enough to know that you're not going to reinvent the wheel and write completely unique content for your Houston page. You're offering the same exact thing. There's only so many things ways you can say about plumbing, right? So we get that. This one comes to with actual Web 2.0 syndication. So the creation of duplicate content on Web 2.0 sites. The primary way a lot of this happens is one, you're promoting your article and you're using SendWire, OnlyWire, if this then that, or one of those other link building things, and you have your RSS set up to show your full article. In so much as what happens is when you post it, your full article goes to your RSS feed. If this then that, or whatever your tools, take that entire article and then post that on your Blogger. Or you post it on WordPress, Tumblr, whatever. Wherever it gets posted, the exact copy of that page gets put on that other site. The idea is actually very sound. You're automatically building backlinks to your page. The issue that we want to test it, or if it is an issue, okay, it is. It's an issue, is that you're copying your exact piece of content and putting it on these other sites. And will it hurt you? Now, the results of this test is a week later after the test page, the Web 2.0, the exact content pointed back to the link with that page, dropped one slot, pushing all the other ones down. And number 4 spot jumped to number 1, and number 5 stayed at number 5. So, in blah blah terms, because that's really poorly explained, the linking identical content to identical content, linking your copy to the original, is not a good idea. Google doesn't like it when it's linked that way, and it creates duplicated, syndicated content inside of the search results. And you could end up de-indexing, getting your page de-indexed because the site that you syndicated it to actually has more authority than your website or your web page. Great example is if you're actually creating like a sister Google site to promote your stuff, and you copy your article to the Google site more than likely might probably outrank your homepage or your original piece of content because of the authority within the Google site. Google loves Google. Google's going to promote Google over your stuff, and in so much as that's typically how that works. I've seen that tons of times, like the IFTTT syndication networks method works, but it works a whole lot better when you're actually using excerpts to your post and your RSS feed publishes the excerpts, not duplicate content. In that way it works a whole lot better. I have seen people who complain about that IFTT syndication does not work. And 9 times out of 10, it's always the fact that they are syndicating the entire full piece of content and creating duplicate content. And eventually Google's going to filter something out. And typically it's going to be the weak link. And more often than not, your website's going to be the weak link. So be careful with that. Now, we are going to retest this because, hey, you never know. The kid came back. But, just from recent experience and recent tests that we published in SIA, in particular, one today, showed you how Google is filtering out the search results. And this method here is just another one of them. They're not picking your content because it was the first one published and the first one indexed and you have the canonical. They're actually picking based off authority. It's kind of weird. So, but more to come on this. So I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and the bell notifications, and we'll see you on the next one.